Honorable Minister for Revenue, Shri Thorat, Honorable Minister for Food and Civil Supplies, Shri Anil Deshmukh ji, Honorable Minister for General Administration, Mrs. Fauziya Khan, Secretary IT, Shri Rajesh Agarwal, and Editor Ego Magazine, Ravi Gupta, all the delegates to this conference, press and media, ladies and gentlemen. It's really my pleasure to be here this morning to attend this important event, which basically is to spur further activity in the area of e-governance in the state of Maharashtra. And I understand that not only the functionaries, senior officials of the government, but also active members of the industry are also here, and it's a good occasion for sharing thoughts and taking stock of the situation and see what needs to be done. I just put together a kind of a perspective from the national level. How does it look like from Delhi? What all is happening at the field level? So I will. And today the department, actually last week we had a renaming ceremony for our department. Previously it was DIT, now it is DIT. So it of course conveys more sense than one. Like IT, deity is also everywhere. It is in all of us, there is a deity. That is the belief that we have in India. So it is so all-pervasive today, electronics and IT, that I think the name is quite appropriate. Now, this department in the Ministry of Communications and IT, Government of India, we have, for the purpose of the 12th five-year plan, these nine thrust areas, I have shown 7 of them here. E-government, which of course is the theme of this conference, e-learning, e-security, e-industry, and industry on both sides, the electronics and hardware side, and also on the software side, which has been commercially for the last 10-15 years, the focus has been on software side. Now we are also equally concerned with the development in the electronics side. So this focus area has come. Innovation, R&D, and e-inclusion. How do you carry everybody in this country along with you? So with these thrust areas, the 12th five-year plan document has been prepared, and as you will see later in one of the slides, the funds are not the problem today. Problems are elsewhere, which I will touch upon. Now, just a quick recap of what has happened in the last, say, 5 to 6 years in this area. The revenue of IT and ITES, the industry, last year we crossed, it's a very auspicious thing, we crossed the 3-digit figure, crossed into the 3-digit area, $100 million last year, which constitutes 7.5% of the GDP. And also, correspondingly, the exports have increased, the employment has increased close to about 28 lakh people are engaged in the IT industry across the country. And then we have formulated 2 new policies last year. The national policy on electronics, that is on the hardware side, so as to bring back the focus on the manufacturer in this country. Otherwise, we are depending heavily on imports, and it is expected that if we continue the same trend, by year 2020, we will be spending more of foreign exchange on importing hardware than on oil in this country. So we need to put some corrective action in place. So that is the provocation for this policy. And also a policy on IT, which though we have been quite successful, recognized globally as a superpower. Several states, including Maharashtra, they have got their own policies. But at the national level, there are documents, but no formal policy as such. So we are bringing out a document. And the National E-Governance Plan, it has 31 mission mode projects, including, as the Honorable Minister has just said, PDS has also been, public distribution system has been added recently along with health and education in this portfolio, which is included in this 31. So out of them, some of the early starters like Ministry of Corporate Affairs, online from 2006. So far about 4 crore transactions have happened online. Everything is online, there is no paper that is taken there. People can deal electronically only. And also Passport Seva project, where 70 out of 77 PSKs have been rolled out. Today, it is a totally transformed situation. One need not go at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. and stand in line. You have to take appointment online. Of course, currently there are in metropolitan cities, there are problems in getting appointment. But once you get an appointment, it is a breeze through. Once you have inside the Passport Seva Kendra, it is maximum of 45 minutes, you come out and you know the result. The transparency, as the Honorable Minister has been mentioning just now, the transparency part is very clear. At the end of those 45 minutes, you should know whether you are getting your passport, yes or no, and when you are going to get it. So this is two examples I have given here, but there are several other examples of this type in the NEGP. And a lot of infrastructure has been laid out, like the data centers, wide area networks in all the states, and CSCs, nearly 1 lakh CSCs across the country. And National Knowledge Network is another, linking up all the educational institutions of higher learning, and research in this country, all the IITs and IIMs and universities, almost 1,500 of them with a gigabit fiber across the country. And then in R&D also, we have a center of nanoelectronics right in Mumbai, and also a supercomputing facility also in Maharashtra, in Pune. And BOSS is also an open source based operating system, which has also about 10 lakh users already, user base in the country, to kind of promote local operating systems rather than dependency forever on exotic kind of imported operating systems. So some quick highlights I have mentioned here in this page. And this is the new IT policy that has been unveiled, in a draft stage, which is at a draft stage at this point, and it's going through a process of consultation with various ministries. Pretty soon this will be an approved policy. And the target here is that the IT revenue should reach from 100, we are currently at 100 billion. The target is the next 8 years it should be $300 billion. And of course, with it, the corresponding enhancement in the employment potential that it will have. Focus on e-governance is very much there, and also the theme of this conference. And the key thing there is the e-services. One commitment given the policy, which is significant, is that service delivery, electronic service delivery, will be mandatory as far as departments are concerned, and it will be a fundamental right or basic right of the citizen in future. So citizens have a right, less like right to education, right to employment, right to e-service. We are the bill is in the parliament, is in a consultative stage at this point, electronic service delivery bill. So this is also very significant change. It is a mindset change. As I mentioned in my opening remark, that it is all pervasive. We have to accept, like air, water and electricity, e-governance should be in the chemistry of all the departments, so to say. It is not a separate department. I think eventually the IT department should be abolished. It should become part and parcel of every department and way of life. So that is what we are envisaging here. And Indian language technology also very important. And I am happy that Government of Maharashtra is also taking a special initiative. We have a lot of funds going into this area from Government of India as well. But at the state level, this is really very encouraging and very nice that the state government is coming up with a laboratory, language laboratory, which is dedicated to develop Marathi language on the internet. Innovation, creation of additional 10 million jobs by 2020, and making one person in each household illiterate. We have excellent example in Kerala, where they have picked up this concept some 10 years ago, and they have achieved it. Every household has one illiterate person. Because when they are saying that e-governance is the way, everything will be electronic in course of time. So we should not cut out the certain sections of the population. We should be inclusive in that regard. So that is the, and last but not least is the security. Security and creating an ecosystem that is absolutely secure and people feel security, and again privacy, not invading the privacy of the individuals. They are like two sides of a coin. So these are all the components at the national level for the IT policy. And the electronic policy, which is the other side, which is picking up now, is also a set of recommendations. I don't want to go into them at this point of time because it's not squarely in the theme of this conference. But the short point is, we want to focus on manufacture and create about 28 lakh jobs by 2020 and $300 billion also here as a target by 2020. So that we don't depend on imports, especially from, today 40% of the world market is dominated by China. It is manufacturing, in terms of manufacturing. They have, over the last decade and a half, they have step by step captured. And 50% of what we use in India is from China. So, is such a dependence good for us? Are we happy with that? That is, as Indians, we have to think about it. And that is also a provocation for this kind of a policy. Now, as far as the funding and the initiatives jointly undertaken by Government of India in Maharashtra with the help of Maharashtra government, and by commitment from my side and from my department side, that sky is the limit. We have had a recent conference where Rajesh was also there, and we gave the assurance that it is up to you to spend. 60 is not the limit. We have a lot more to offer. There is no limit. In fact, we have a 1,000 crore budget in the Government of India, and unless we take steps on a war footing, there is no way we can utilize the whole budget. So it is up to the Government of Maharashtra to drive the whole initiative and of e-governance, and e-governance budget itself is 1,000 crores compared to 300 crores last year. So it's more than 3 times that we have this year to spend. So every day counts. So my request to all those present here is take advantage in whatever manner we are there to support you with fund support, guidance, whatever is needed here. Now, to do that, 60 crores plus, it could be 100 crores also, depends, as I said, on your capacity to utilize in a gainful manner. Is first of all to prepare the action plan for this year with a strategy, clear strategy. What am I going to achieve this year? What kind of activities, responsibilities, who will do what? Specific targets and outcomes. At the end of the day, in a political, democratic setup, what is expected is, what is it to me as a citizen? You are spending so many 1,000 crores money, but at the end of the day, what am I getting? That is the bottom line. So we have to see in terms of outcomes vis-a-vis the citizen. And large pilots, if any pilots are needed, can take in 6 months and roll out across the state by March 2030. That way a lot of, these resources can be utilized. Building capacity at various levels is another important, not only at the official level, but also it is needed at various political levels of exposure, so that once the political will is there, the rest will follow. As the Honorable Revenue Minister was telling, I don't know Marathi, but I could make out that. I'm just giving an example, recent example from my earlier experience, where the Honorable Chief Minister took upon himself in one meeting. He said, "Can you give all the certificates that people go to government office? Quite 60% of the people go to Tehsil officers, revenue officers, other government only for certificates. Can you give it in 15 minutes?" So we took it as a challenge, worked backwards, and made whatever is required to do that. We created for land records, for birth records, for caste, income, all these things. Databases have been created and digitally signed at one time by the Tehsildar. Digitally signed, not ink signed. And it is made available in the portal. And any kiosk, CSC, anywhere in the pilot district at this point, you could download it in a fraction of a minute, print it on a special stationery and give it. So the kiosk operator, the Tehsildar signature used to be powerful till yesterday, but today the initial of the CSC operator is equally powerful. So we transferred the power, we disempowered one section, empowered the cutting edge section. That is what happened. The ink signature has been killed literally through this process. So it's a kind of a fundamental change, grassroots level change. People are appreciating. I don't have to go around, I don't have to spend XYZ amount for getting my certificate. So this is only one example. Same thing is possible in healthcare, such transformation is possible in education, and so many other fields. Only sky is the limit for our imagination. Now, the other point I am mentioning today is the replication of successes from across the country. Why should we reinvent the wheel every time? Today, fortunately, with the cloud technology, it's possible. Where do you know is Yahoo or Google? Where is it residing? Where is Facebook? Where is Skype? We are using day to day. Within a few minutes, you can start taking the service. So service and outcome we want today. We don't know the mechanics, we don't need to know the technology today. Why can't we use it in e-governance? Why should we break our heads with so many? Somebody has done all that logic somewhere, let us use it. It's all one India. It may be different state, but one country. Let us quickly pick it up. That framework is very, very important today. We should not stand on if Maharashtra has done extremely good in commercial tax. Why should we? Software as service, it could be given to Assam, it could be given to. Today it is possible. A few years ago, couple of years ago, it may not have been possible. Today, it is fortunately possible. So let us do the legal responsibility, the transfer of power, which I said, disempowering some section, empowering some other section, should happen through a set of rules. Then, as I again repeat, the key is across the counter service. The transparency is only when you give it across the counter or over the internet. The physical dependency should be minimized, eliminated as far as possible. So that is once you target it across the counter service, then it creates tremendous sense of satisfaction to the citizen, and all the ailments of the system, bureaucratic system, will go. So that is what I am suggesting in this year. Conscious effort should be made. Plans have to be aligned. Our thinking from output basis to outcome basis. So I am just summarizing this as the need of the hour. We need to impact the citizens. We don't have time for it. We have to do pretty fast. From output to outcome approach. We need an overarching framework for enlarging, for scaling up, for replicating success stories. There are no time for pilots, more pilots, etc. Let us have a big bang and pervade the whole state of Maharashtra, picking up good practices from panchayats, from health, from education, from different parts of the country. Quickly do it. So it's standards-based, harmonizing, integrating, pan-India footprint, is possible that enables quick replication. And last but not least is the leadership. I am very, very happy that three honorable ministers are with us on the stage today here participating in this event. The kind of political will that exists is indicated here. And from Rajesh I learned that the Honorable Chief Minister himself is a great, he was a great computer engineer himself. And it gives, what more do you need for, you can't have it everywhere, such kind of fortunate circumstances. You must exploit that and make the best of such a political environment that exists today. And both we need that leadership and capacity at various levels, not only at political policy levels, but also at the program. Somebody has to sit down and plan out the whole thing. Somebody has to roll it out at the field level. It's all three levels we need capacity and leadership. That's what is needed to be consciously built. And we have also Nandan Nilekani committee currently looking at these HR needs across India in the e-governance field. They are going to come up with a set of recommendations because we have excellent caliber in this country, both within the government as well as outside the government in the industry. How do we work like two hands or two legs? They coordinate in a synchronous manner. In the like manner, industry, government, we need to coordinate and really produce the result. That for which key, HR is the key. So that policy we are coming up so as to make it happen. Currently, I am told Maharashtra has very few people in the IT department. 4 or 5 officers are only working. Of course, supported by 10-12 people in the SCMT. But is it required? Is it sufficient? Do we have to scale it up? In what manner? These issues also need to be examined quickly by the IT department in the year 12-13. I think already Maharashtra, very good work has been done. One of the forerunners, I would say, programs like eSetu. I remember 10-12 years ago I visited here and they were having at the district eSetu where some routine services were being given across the counter in those days. So they have come a long way since that time, whether it is commercial tax, whether it is e-office. It's very impressive, but we must really now take a big leap at this point of time, leapfrog into in the year 12-13. That is, I'm sure that this conference here would provide the right setting, right thought process, right vibration between all of us, so that end of March 2013 we have much better status. And the proof of the pudding is in the eating, as they say, that by March 2013, how many lakh, how many million, how many crore e-transactions are happening, reaching the citizen. What is my target and where am I? Only one yardstick only will measure the caliber of Rajesh sitting here in March 2013.